Evening, everybody. Welcome to the eviction night for week. Is it 13 or 14?
I don't know.
Who cares? We all lost track.
Yeah. It's the eviction night for some week or other. So, just as a reminder, Cam is the HOH this week. Billy and Pete are on the block. Let's try talking to Cam first. I don't know whether it's going to allow us to or not. So, Cam, this is your second spell as HOH. How important did you feel it was to take out the win at this time, and how do you feel that your week has gone as a whole?
At this point, I'm not, of course, in comparison to everybody. I think I'm tied with Pete for the least amount of wins. So to me, it was kind of important as far as that aspect of the game to win that challenge. So there was that, and then of course with how far this week has gone, this house is evenly split again, like it's been for the past few weeks. So I've been getting told by some people some things, other people some things. Basically, two different sides saying the same story, different names in each situation, depending on what side I'm asking and talking to. So it's just been a good old-fashioned mindfuck.
Fair enough.
Was that at all understandable?
Yep. Skipped a couple of times, but we were able to follow, so miracles will never cease. So, Michael, you've made it very clear that you're getting a little bit frustrated with a bit of a dry run in the competitions. Are you therefore pleased that even though you're not necessarily taking out the comps at the moment, you're still here and you're still going to be part of the Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, last night was a huge scare. Obviously, Pete winning veto. Cam was very honest that I was going up. Should it be used? So, it's at this point, it's getting frustrating not being able to pull out the comp wins when they're the most necessary. Next week, they're absolutely crucial just to win at least one of them to ensure my own safety. So, I'm kind of getting, I don't think anyone's ever, I know the common strategy is to throw the beginning half and then win towards the end, but I've done the opposite, where I seem to have won at the beginning and then lost them all towards the end. So I'm hoping next week ends the dry spell and I can pull out either HOH or POV, is kind of my thought.
So, I mean, you mentioned you had a good winning streak at the start of the game and it sort of dried up, and that's almost the opposite to Cam and Pete, who have gone on a bit more of a winning run recently. Do you have any theories on why maybe you're having a bit of a dry spell? Is it the comps haven't suited you? Is it that you're feeling the pressure more? Or is it that other people are trying more?
I mean, I feel like it's definitely the pressure. I'm a very cerebral person. I'm in my own head a lot of the time. So when it stacks up and I'm literally coming second in most of these competitions, I'm like, great. But I mean, Sudoku for the HOH, not my cup of tea. I'm not a Sudoku person at all. I think it's just, I'm more an endurance player. And I've won endurance comps. I've come very far in endurance comps. So, let's hope for some endurance next week. Or at least, something I can win.
Fair enough. So, Nick, similar question to Michael, really, to begin with. Obviously, Michael was very much under the impression that should the veto have been used, he was going to be going up on the block, which theoretically means that you were the one person who was completely safe this week. How How do you feel about that?
I mean, there were definitely points in time where like Cam was like, "Would you be mad if I put you up?" Like Cam was talking through all of his options, and so there was definitely that fear. And I like know what Michael was like. I know what Michael was thinking. Like I know what he felt because it's kind of like you've made it so far just to go up at final five. Like that's terrifying, but it feels good knowing because at the end of the day, Cam did tell me that Michael probably would have won up in place of me, which felt good. Sorry, I just woke up, so my throat is like crazy, like raspy. Um, it honestly, it kind of feels like the only reason, one of the only reasons I'm staying up or I'm staying off the block is because certain individuals want me out for fourth because I won't be able to compete in HOH. So that I mean, it makes sense. It'll be the last time I won't be able to compete in HOH. And I have that extra vote. So that's the perfect time to get me out, and I get that. But I don't know. It just felt good knowing that I could trust somebody and that like they had my back 100%.
Fair enough. I mean, you sort of touched on your punishment and the fact you're not able to play in the HOHs. Obviously, at the time, you were very upset about that punishment. Now you're coming towards the end of it. Even if you were to go next week, would you still feel that it was completely a negative thing, or do you think that in some ways it may have helped you advance?
Oh, anybody if anybody had this punishment and like got as far as I did and say it was a completely negative thing, they're lying. Like obviously not being able to compete in HOH, like just rips that target right off your back and puts it on somebody else. Because why would you keep somebody who could win HO, like especially up against me in the like as a final nom? Like let's say I was a final nom against somebody like Billy or somebody like Pete. Why would you keep them in the competition when they can win the final four HOH when I have no chance at winning the final four HOH, and you could just take me out the next week? So like it does have its benefits, but it also does have its obvious negatives.
Fair enough. So let's head over to our nominees. So Pete, first of all, so you managed to win another competition, but then pulled what was potentially a ballsy move, potentially a stupid move. How? What was the thought process behind your decision, and how easy was it to make?
It was pretty easy actually. I had already stated that. I'd already stated like how I felt about the game overall in my game to quite a few people, and that if one side was getting their way, then I'd rather it be me going over someone else who deserves to be here longer. So I'm happy with the decision, and if I stay, then that's awesome. I would love to stay, but if I go, then at least it's like me. It won't cause that many waves.
So, are you saying that if you were to leave tonight, you wouldn't have any regrets about it?
Not about the veto, because it'd still be, a not great happening. But I would have other regrets in the game, of course. And of course, want to be here. So, yeah.
Fair enough. I won't press you on those regrets now, but we may bring them up another time. So, Billy, you've done a pretty good job of avoiding the being a final nominee to date. So far, it's only happened once. Obviously, you lost your sort of partner in crime at the time. But are you annoyed that sort of you weren't able to take out the veto like you'd managed when you'd been on the block at earlier times? Or do you just view it as sort of rule of averages that eventually you wouldn't be able to win a veto.
It is what it is, but at the end of the day, I'm not a strong physical person. During my application, I did put in there that I'm not going to win a single competition. So to come in here and win a bunch of competitions has been completely bewildered, and I'm in a completely different zone than where I normally play. That being said, I have not won a competition in weeks since the double eviction HOH when Keaton left. So that is something where I feel like I am also in a dry spell. I definitely know that it sucks, and I am wearing black to my own funeral today because I definitely feel like I am leaving 1-1 tie, and then Cameron will vote me out. I don't want to speak for anything, but that's where I think that's going to happen tonight, when I think that might be the wrong decision. If you want me to elaborate on that, I will.
I mean, you're on the block, so you may as well.
All right, my final pitch. At the end of the day, Cameron, final four. Only Pete and Michael can play HOH. They're both putting you up next to Nick. That's the way it is. Pete didn't use the veto, so Michael wouldn't go on the block. That just shows how well of a bond they have. Michael has used the veto on Pete in the past. If I win Final Four HOH, I'm putting up Michael and Nick, straight up.
No, you're
And
not.
I've told both of them already.
Multiple times that you're staying loyal to, like, don't lie right now.
I'm not lying.
Nominees don't really matter. It's just
I'm
about
just saying,
the
nominees
veto.
don't matter, but that's the thing.
Just
because I'm close to Nick doesn't mean Nick can't. Nick will beat me in the end.
Okay, but at the end of the day,
Nick beats me in the end.
But at the end of the day, I wasn't playing veto on Billy, and I told Cam I wasn't playing veto on Billy. The fact that
and
Pete
I wasn't playing veto on Pete.
I'm talking, please.
Okay.
The fact that Pete didn't use the veto just to save you shows how much like, no matter what happens, he's taking you to the end. Which is why I've told Cam this. Next week I go home. The only way he gets to Final 2 is by winning Final 3 HOH, which against
Cameron knows.
you and Pete is not going to happen.
And that's the
Cam
thing.
In Final 3, in a Final 3 with me and Billy, Billy's not going to take me, and I'm not going to take Billy because I want to win this game.
That's 100% the truth.
You're discrediting your own self. You said multiple times, Bill. You said last night that you were close, that you were sticking strong to that foursome that you originally created. So don't switch the game up now.
Right, but it's not that. It's literally, the thing is, there's no foursome left in the game.
That's tried to help me.
There's no foursome left. There's no foursome left. It's me and Nick. And I realize Blake is on the jury. That is going to be a vote for Nick. I have said that. Lee hates my guts. Lee has blocked me on all social medias. Lee will vote for Nick. Gwen will vote for Nick.
Vote for Billy. Why would I do that?
So there's no reason for either of us to take each other to the
together.
I'm not taking it to the end. It is what it is.
I have something to say too.
I mean, I guess at this point, Pete, you're welcome to your own pitch.
I've already laid out exactly everything I'm trying to do and what I'm working towards in this game, and my exact goals and exactly what I want to happen. So Cameron already knows where my head is at and exactly everything I'm going to do when it comes to if I have to make a decision and everything. So Cameron has no reason to stress about that.
Cameron knows exactly what I'm going to do as well.
And that's my thing. I already told Cameron what I'm doing. So it is what it is. I think that if Cameron does take me out at this point, it's going to be a bad move because Cameron's going to set himself up for fourth.
No, Cameron's not going to set himself up for fourth because Michael's going to vote me out, and so is Pete.
Cameron's
going to set himself up for third.
If you win veto, which is a high possibility.
If I win veto, he's getting third with me.
No,
that's assuming. Sorry.
Well, it's a numbers game, and that's what it is at the end of the day. Big Brother is a numbers game. What is the probability that Cameron can make it to the end?
Very high.
And that's the thing. But it is high either way Cameron goes, but what is the higher chance? The higher chance is to go with me and Nick, that we're apparently a duo. Whatever. I'm voting Nick out at 3.
Don't use quotes when it is true.
I'm not.
Don't use quotes.
I already said I'm not taking Nick to the end. I've literally told Nick straight to his face, on call, multiple times, I'm not taking Nick to the end.
Okay,
the funniest part is that apparently you and Pete have had a final 2 for a long time now, which is why Pete voted Lee out. But me and Billy we don't have a final 2, at all.
Michael and I don't have a final 2 either.
And I just want to say, Nick,
I've heard from multiple.
Made about not using the POV and Billy was the same point that I'm making. I was not using POV and Pete. We made a deal.
Nick's never used the POV on me.
But he wasn't going to use it. I wasn't going to use the POV and Pete this round.
Because the difference is you thought
you have done in the past. That's my point.
The
You've
difference
literally
is-
shown that
the
you are
difference
and you
You
is-
used
are
the
together.
POV on me, Billy. Are we a final
Okay,
two because
but
you used the
Michael,
POV on
Michael,
it?
I used the
difference
POV on
is
you. Yeah, I
you
did.
didn't-
What did that show?
Cameron
You're
did-
evicting me tonight.
Michael,
What does that show?
The difference, Michael, the difference is that you didn't want me out this week. You taking Pete off the block would have taken me out. You wanted Billy out this week. And the only
Cameron.
way to get Billy out is to keep him next to Pete. And
Right.
you and Pete both know that.
You
Which
know
is why Pete didn't use veto.
Okay.
If Michael was on the block this week and Pete had won veto, he would have used it on you.
Correct.
Okay,
Cameron,
then
then
I'm just gonna say this.
And I would have kept my
Cameron,
noms the same. If Nick was on the block, I would have kept noms the same because that's probably what Cameron would have wanted to do.
Well, I'm just gonna say this, Cameron. You've said multiple times that you want Billy out. This is not gonna be your second opportunity. Do you really want to show to the jury that you have made these goals and are not going ahead with them? This is
Cameron-
the second time you said you wanted Billy out.
This
Cameron,
is
I've
the
had
second time you
multiple
wanted Billy out,
HOHs.
but
I've
Billy
had
out is not good for
multiple
your game,
opportunities to
Cam.
take you out of this game, and I have not done that. I could have done that, and I have not.
And if we want to
Well,
look
same
back
here.
at that, as much shit as Cameron got for saving Billy the first time, I definitely think it benefited this game. Because if Livingston would have stayed in this game, as much as Pete said that he wanted Livingston out, there would have been no reason to logically get Livingston out of this game. And me, Cameron, and Livy back to back would have been mowed down by that group.
Mm-mm. That's
I
assuming
100 It's not assuming.
That's assuming-
anything.
I can't
Because-
finish
Can
what
we get to the
okay.
vote? Because I think we're done.
No, I
here.
have something to say because everyone else has been talking. That's Billy and Nick are making these assumptions that everyone's motivations and assuming everyone's motivations is desperately fighting hard, doing anything to win the game, which not always is going to be everyone's motivations coming into this game. And Cameron, didn't I also tell you this is exactly what was going to happen? I stayed calm. I told you this is what was going to happen.
Because Pete is smart and he knows how to play this game.
Right.
Because he knows that he understands what benefits you and what benefits me as a group, and he understands what benefits himself.
I love how I'm suddenly the biggest threat and the smartest person in this
Did I say you're
house.
the biggest threat or the smartest person? No, I said you're intelligent.
Well, thanks. But I've already told Cameron exactly what I'm fighting for and exactly what I'm trying to do. So
And I told Cam the exact same thing. I mean, at this point, it's up to Cam. I've messaged you, Cam. I have laid out everything that I've said. I'm sure Michael has. I'm sure Billy has. I'm sure Pete has. But
and
I'm the
Just
only person in this game
At the end of the day,
that you're close
Cam, you
with
need to
that
make
has
the
been
best
100% loyal to you.
Cam, at the end of the day, you need to make the decisions that's best for you. You need to do that what's best for you. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if I'm not trying to speak for me. I'm speaking from a numbers standpoint. Keeping me in this game benefits you. Because at the end of the day, I'm not coming after you for fourth. I'm not coming after you for third. Because it's clear, if Pete leaves, Michael, I would want out next, followed by Nick, and then I want you in the end. And the jury does not like me. Lee has literally blocked me on all social medias. There are people on the jury. There's rumblings from the jury that they don't like me.
I've already demonstrated that I'm very willing to risk my entire game and lay my life down on the line over people who I think deserve to stay here. And that is in regards to multiple people. And I've already demonstrated that. So Cameron knows
But
that
that's
everything I
scary
told him. It's
because you've never done
100%
that for
true.
Cameron.
What do you mean?
You've never done that for. You have laid your life out on the line for individuals. You did it for Keaton. You did it for Michael, but you've never done it for Cameron. And anytime Cameron's done something against that, you've screamed at him.
Okay, I've screamed at a lot of
I
people.
wouldn't be surprised.
And I've saved Cameron before.
Pete, me
when
and you
you
have been on
tried to
different
vote him
sides all
out.
game. Pete, me and you have been on different sides all game, and you've never yelled at me. You allegedly are with Cameron. You yelled at him.
You've
It is
yelled
what
at
it is.
Cameron
Okay.
every single time he did something you didn't want him to do. I've never done that.
Mm-mm. That's what I'm saying.
Cam
Nick.
didn't respond to me because Cam did not respond to me because I forgot that he was talking to family, and I freaked out on him a little bit. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like what are you doing?" And I explained myself to him and explained why putting me up was bad. But I've never yelled at Cam in this game. I've always treated Cam like a competitor because he is a competitor. I've always treated Cam like a human being, which is something that you can't say.
I've always let Cameron know exactly where I felt and exactly where I was
But you
thinking, which
don't
I
treat him
guarantee
correctly.
you have not done.
I guarantee
What?
I've done everything in Cam's best interest. Everything I've told Cam has been in his best interest.
And also in
Nick, let me ask you a
yours,
question.
conveniently at the same time.
Exactly. Because
Nick, can you
I
say
want to go
right
to the
now?
end with Cam.
Nick, can you say right now you're cutting me for 4th or 3rd if you get the
If
opportunity?
Michael wins HOH, I'm voting Billy out.
It's
That's the
funny,
thing.
If Billy
Cameron,
wins
'cause
HOH, I'm voting out Michael.
Right.
And
they're
I'm taking
assuming
Cameron
that
for second.
It's not an
they're
assumption.
assuming
It's a
that
numbers
I'm.
game.
If
You
Pete
didn't
leaves,
even know what I was gonna say.
You're going to say it's an assumption that you're going to do this and this person's going to win this competition. It's a numbers game. You need to do what's best for the numbers. If for Cameron to do what's
well,
best
it's not
for him, he
assuming
needs to go to the
anything because if
numbers.
Billy stays, then Billy and Michael are the only two that can win HOH.
And
So
me and
I'm
Michael are
saying
clearly going to go after each other.
in the sense that I am the sole vote to vote somebody out, to evict somebody, that's what I'm doing.
Fine.
I told you this would happen, Cameron.
It's the truth.
But I mean, that's assuming.
If you want to
but
hide Cameron from the truth, go ahead.
The thing about that, Pete, is it's not like there's 9 players in the game and I could look in like 8 different directions. There are 5 players left in this game. There are 2 options. Of course, you're going to assume that I'm going to do one of those 2 options. I'm not going to sit there and beg for Cam to save Pete because it's very obvious that Pete is not a friend of mine in this game.
Well, that's personal. But Billy and Nick are assuming that I'm going to do whatever I can and beast mode the end of the game and do anything I need to do to win the game. And that's
I
my
could have sat there
motivation
and went to Cam and been like, well, I don't think Pete's going to use veto because he's close with Michael. And like, if you would have done that, then then Cam would have been feeling the same way about you. But like, it was obvious that you weren't using veto because Michael was going up.
Was it?
Very.
I mean, Cameron told Michael that Michael was going to go up, and it just shows that you didn't use the veto. You'd rather put yourself at risk rather than put up an ally. And I mean, whatever. If Nick was going to be the renom and we're the supposed duo, I'm using the veto on myself.
Yeah, because I'm demonstrating that I'm very loyal to the people I say I'm going to be loyal to, and I'm willing to lay my
Billy
life on the line.
has never said he's loyal to
That just
me.
shows you're more loyal to Michael than you will be Cameron. That's my point.
No, it doesn't, because I know
Yes, it
exactly
does.
what I'm going to do.
You kept yourself on the block so Michael would not go up. How is that not saying that you're more loyal to that person?
Because you're going into the scenario that I'm going to have to choose only one of them, when I know for a fact I won't have to, because I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I can be loyal to both of them at the same time. And I'm happy in that.
It just shows where your priorities are, that's all.
Yeah,
The
my
only reason you
priorities
can be
are being loyal to those two.
I mean,
and it's funny because you two don't have no idea what I'm going to do, and Cameron does.
I just think it's funny
because, that like all
because
your points are like
I just think it's
inaccurate.
funny because we're at Final Four, so there's no way to like 100% be loyal to 2 people. Like that's
Right.
stupid.
No, there is.
Because you have to nominate one of them. If you win HOH or you win veto, you have to vote out one of them, unless you want to sit on the block.
No, there's a way to be loyal to both of them, and I know exactly what I'm going to do going forward, which is be loyal to both of them. Because I know that both Nick and Billy are the 2 most likely people to win the game right now.
That's not
accurate.
It's not. There's literally a juror who has blocked me on everything and has told me never to contact them again. So
Well,
how is
also
that
Joe,
somehow am
that's
I going to
fine.
win? Let's listen to
But
that.
it's not solely Lee's decision.
I'm just saying it's one juror.
And no.
Okay, and Gwen doesn't like
no,
him.
Gwen doesn't like me.
Can I please
Gwen
finish?
doesn't like him. Alex doesn't like him.
Can
I told you they'd
'Cause
cause chaos, Cameron.
No,
I told you.
I've been asking to talk, so can I please talk?
Okay, go ahead.
Hypothetically, if Billy is in the end and Nick is not, which assuming that's what you're going to do, because you've said multiple times that you're going to do that, you have Blake already because you're aligned with Blake. Blake, can you not shake your head? You do have Blake. Blake is going to vote for you if you're in the end. Tell me one reason why he's not. Tell me one
Because I
good
threw
reason
Final
why
7
Not
HOH so
against
Blake would go
Cam.
home.
Not
And he
against
knows that.
Cam.
Why would
Against
Blake vote for me
Cam,
when I was one of the reasons he left?
Cam has
I could
my
have won that
vote. Cam
HOH
has
and let
Blake's
you
vote.
or Pete have
What
it.
y'all don't understand
Can I ask you a
is I
question?
might have been Blake's number 1, but Cam was always Blake's number 2. And Blake told me that on multiple occasions.
So Cam, now they think you're going to win against them.
Well, yeah, what's
It's not
the truth?
that at all.
What's the
Well, you just
truth?
said
I think Cam beats
me.
me in the end. Straight up. I don't think I beat Cam.
Okay, then fine.
I mean, it's a
I don't beat
lose-lose for
anybody here.
whatever I say to you, Michael, because you want Pete to stay, so it doesn't matter.
That's absolutely.
I
and
don't
I can't
beat
say
anybody
I can
here.
say the same thing to you. I can't say
And that's
anything to you
fair.
because you
That's
want me out.
fair. That is fair.
I'm just saying, like, I don't beat anybody in the end. Straight up. The jury does not like me.
Mm-hmm. I just know I have one solid, set in stone concrete plan for what I want to happen in this game, and Cameron knows exactly what that is. So I don't have to change stories and come up with all these crazy theories about why I have to
changed my
stay.
story. I've never
I
changed my
can't
story. I've never made
finish
a
what I'm
theory.
gonna say. Literally, this past however the fuck long it was just, oh, this is why Pete has to go. This is what I'm gonna do. This is gonna happen. And it's like,
Okay, how is that making up stories?
throwing
That's
in all
what's
these
gonna
crazy ass
happen.
theories about why Billy
What's
needs
gonna
to stay.
happen
Whereas
is I'm gonna go for
I have
fourth.
one
Can you sit
strict.
there and say I'm gonna go home for fourth?
What?
Can you sit there and say I'm not gonna go home for fourth?
I can't
If
because
you
you
stay,
can win veto.
If you stay and I don't win veto, I'm going home for fourth.
Okay,
Correct?
sure.
And then Cam goes home for third.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. I know 100% he does not.
The issue is people talk. And it's very easy to see that you and Michael have a final two.
Okay, I like Michael.
Because
that doesn't mean that
Then you
Cameron's
just
not
contradicted
going to
yourself.
make final two.
You just said that if it was you, Michael, and Cam in the final three, that you would not take Michael to final two. But now you and Michael are final
I didn't
three.
say those words. I didn't say those words.
Unwinnable
it's
by
I
just
didn't
count.
say
so
those
funny
words.
because it's like this whole week has been like me and Billy, when
Right.
literally before Lee left, before Blake left, before Keaton left, Lee told me Michael and Pete are a lot closer than me and Michael, which is probably why he's gonna keep Michael.
And that's what Lee told me.
So you're assuming that
I'm still talking. Blake told me that Michael and Pete are close. Keaton told me that Michael and Pete have a final two. So since final 8, I've understood that Michael and Pete are a lot closer than they lead on to be. And you've proven that. Michael has used veto on Pete. Pete did not use veto to keep Michael off the block.
So you're assuming that if I win final 3 HOH, that you assume that I'm going to win. I'm going to try really hard to win the final 3 HOH to get myself into the final 2, and I'm going to take Michael.
I would not be surprised if you threw final 3 HOH, because either way, Cam or Michael are taking you. But regardless, Michael will still take you over Pete or over Cam.
I know 100% there's no way they can take me into the final 2 even if they want to. And that Cameron will make the final 2 if I'm still here. And I'm happy with that. And I've told Cameron exactly what is going to happen if I stay. And how that it very much so benefits him.
You're going to threaten to quit again? Like you did this week when you didn't get your way?
Lee
Or you're
told me
going
the
to quit
same
at
thing out
final
the door.
3?
Lee told me the same thing out the door, that Michael and Pete are closer than they appear. And that's why if it was a tie, I should have kept Lee.
Why can't I be close to 2 people? Why does it have to be only one?
But that's the thing. Like you're close to Michael, you're close to Cam, you're close to Lee. Like I'm close to nobody left. I'm
all the people you're
if I'm
close
sitting on
to
the
are on the
block moving
jury.
forward, if I'm sitting on the block for final 4, final 3, I'm going home. Can we say the same thing for you?
If I'm on the block at final 3, I'm going home? Is it that
final 4 or final 3? Are you going home?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
You're not.
No, you're not. That's a lie.
It's not a lie. I know 100% I'm going home.
It's 100% a lie.
I think the only person
I leave by sitting on the block moving forward, and that's the goddamn truth.
I've already laid it all out to Cameron, so.
I think there's only one other person in this game that can say that that's not a lie, and that's Michael. Because if Michael is on the block at final 4 or final 3, he's probably going home.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
Or if I'm on the block because of the extra vote, if I'm on the block at final 4 or final 3, I'm probably going home.
Okay, well, if Nick's on the block, then yes.
But I think Pete makes it to final 2 regardless if this happens.
Right.
I'm not making it final 2.
But then Billy's going to make final 2 because this massive goal that he says he is, that he can't win anyone. So
I don't think so, because I've already told you guys that I'm voting Billy out.
Then why vote Billy out if he's not winning?
But I'm not going to make it to the end. That's the point. If I'm sitting on
the then quit right now. Why are we wasting time if you're not going to make it to the end?
Every single competition, the HOH or the veto final 4 or the HOH in final 3 to make it to the end. Pete does not have to do the same thing.
You need to make up your story. You're either
I-
losing at final 2 or you're not making it to final
It's
2.
the same
Make up
thing.
your mind.
It's the same thing. If I make final 2, I lose. But for me to even get
Then
there, I
why
have to
go
win
out
out.
if you're going to lose at the final 2? If you're a guaranteed win at
Okay,
the final
but
2,
I'm not-
at
it's
the
not-
same
that's-
point, Pete has made the same. Pete has said the same thing that like, oh, I'm not winning at final 2. I'm not winning at final 2, and he's still here. So like, you doing that is pissing me off. Because then why is Pete here? Pete should have quit at final 6 then.
well, then he should
If he's
quit.
not, if Pete's not gonna win, then he should have quit.
No, I tried to, but I was already safe, and Lee or Michael was still going, so there wasn't much I could do really.
But at the same, like, what makes me mad is Michael sitting there saying vote Billy out because he's not gonna win anyways. But neither is Pete apparently. So vote Pete out.
I never said
I
that.
think-
I
I
don't
think
think. I
Billy
think
can
everyone
win.
can win. I believe in everyone
I
to win.
don't win.
Strong games.
I just don't win.
Then
But
don't
you're
fucking
saying
play.
you're saying if Billy thinks he's not gonna win, then why are you playing? The same thing for Pete. If Pete thinks he's not gonna win, then why is he playing?
Then don't ask me. Ask Pete. Pete, why are you still playing if you're not going to win?
Because this game is fun, and I like playing the game, and I like everyone here. And there's nothing else to do in quarantine. I've joined this game to have fun. So, and meet people and stuff, you know?
Again,
And plus, Cameron, didn't I tell you this is what would happen?
like I echoed.
Yes, you've
moving
said that
forward-
multiple times now.
Hold on,
Pete.
hold on,
You
hold
told
on.
Cam
It's
this was
funny.
gonna
Hold on,
happen.
hold on. Like I echoed multiple times, purely game, love all of you.
Yes.
Cool? All cool?
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all.
we
That's all I
all
want to
feel
say. It's all game. All right, Z. I think we're ready.
I was waiting for a lull to try and take us to the vote. I will go off camera. If either voter wishes to change their vote, they will have around 2 minutes to do so. Otherwise, without any shout outs or say anything else you want to say, but ideally don't start another mass quarrel whilst I'm off cam. Anyway,
Nick, you should change your vote. I think it'll be a good idea.
At the end of the day, like, I want you guys to understand that I'm doing what's best. I'm voting what's best for my game. I'm not voting what's best for Billy's game. I'm not voting what's best for Pete's game. I'm not doing what's best for Michael's game. This vote is best for my game. And to me, which it's different for everyone, because once again, we all play our own games. To me, it makes more sense for Cam to save Billy, in my opinion. Not in Pete's opinion, not in Michael's opinion, not in Cam's opinion, not in Billy's opinion, in my opinion. Same thing for Billy,
All right.
probably, and Pete and Michael probably think the exact opposite.
Yeah,
At the
I
end of
think
the
it's
day-
best for Cam to keep me.
At the end of the day, it's up to Cam. And we're
One
just
thing
going to have to
I-
accept
Cam.
it either way.
Cam, one thing I do want to say, this is non-game related. I know this is taking a huge stress on you right now just because I can see you're not doing well. You evict either of us, none of us take it personally. Trust me.
Yeah.
I want you to know that because I know this game. I know what it's like to be in your position. So it's like, don't take this. It's not the end of the world if you evict me or Pete. It's not. Because
Yeah.
I still want to get to know you as a person outside of this, even though we haven't talked that much. Seriously.
I
So,
think Pete feels very similar to you.
and that's what I'm saying. I think Pete feels exactly the same. That's not a campaign thing. I promise. That's not a campaign. That's all personal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, whatever decision you decide to make it for what's best for your game. Don't let anybody pressure you into doing that. Whatever's best for you, you do.
okay. The votes have been counted. They've been, after that, independently verified by the security guards from the Jerry Springer show. And I can reveal that by a vote of 1-1, we have a third tie of the season.
Breaks a DB record.
Cam, I don't know how your mic is right now. I did just send you a message on Skype just in case.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
You're a bit quiet. You're a bit quiet.
But you're good.
We hear you.
Good? Okay. So, fuck me. Okay. I came in knowing what I was doing. I even had a nice little speech typed out. Sent it in case I wasn't able to make it. And now I no longer even know. Because I'm hearing from both sides, oh, I'm not making it to the final two with either side. Which of course is never good to hear. Especially when you've been hearing from both sides, from the same people on the opposite sides. I'm making it to final two with everybody. So, even better, both of you, because neither one of you guys were on when I made my nomination, so you didn't hear that. I basically nominated you both, solely because, of course, I've been wanting you out for a long time now, and you've been trying to self-prophesize. I was trying to help you. Pete has said he doesn't want to be here, so I was trying to help him. But ultimately, right now, I have to do what I think is best. Which I don't even know anymore. I'm like 2 seconds away from just grabbing a coin and flipping. And I also don't want to be that HOH to let their target just slip by twice when they had the chance. But at the same time, the only person I've truly fully worked with is Nick, just by proxy. But I also have to take into effect what I hear from the jury. And mostly what I've been hearing are 2 very specific names. So, even with that being said, I do deeply apologize. I'm so sorry.
Cameron just left the call.
I think maybe their connection gave out or something.
I because this eviction wasn't crazy enough as it is, we need oh Okay.
Wow.
Did he type out what he's gonna do to you?
Basically, he's saying that he gave his answer. Okay. Apparently, he said his answer, but he said it very quickly, and then he left so that he didn't start crying on camera. It's really fucking awkward if nobody heard it, including me, because
I didn't hear it.
now I have to deliver it. This is without a doubt the single weirdest episode we've ever had. I'm really sorry that I'm having to do this, but Pete, Cameron has chosen to evict you from the game. I
Pete, I'm so sorry. Like,
Hold on, Pete.
No surprise. I mean, I meant everything I said to Cameron, and that truly was the worst possible decision for Cameron to make. But oh well, still their decision. So,
Pete, after the season, I would love to get to know you as a person. We really haven't talked that much. You know that. I'm not trying to be fake either.
okay. Well, Nick, Billy, congrats. You won the season, and you got my vote. So,
Not at
good luck.
all.
Oh my god.
Is it just me and you, Billy?
Why? Why?
You know it's still recording.
Oh, it's
Okay.
so
Don't be
stupid that,
nasty,
like,
Z.
I'm being no, I'm saying, like, it's stupid that, like,
Stop recording, Z.
no, I'm not, it's not stupid about the vote. It's not stupid about the vote. It's stupid that, like, I try, like, stop recording because it's not about the vote, and I'm really about to
No,
go off.
I still need to say things, so I need you to shut up if you want me to stop recording. So that was the single most ridiculous eviction night I think we've ever had. I'm lost, honestly. However, for the benefit of the people who've actually stayed here, and I guess a reminder for anyone who's watching, Final Four will take place tomorrow. It will be competed between Billy and Michael. It will, it's a semi-live, and then we will have a live veto on whatever the day after tomorrow is, Wednesday, I think. And the eviction, as it's just a single vote to evict, will take place immediately after the power of veto. So will not be a day break. And on that note, I need a cigarette. Bye, everyone.